Chapter 1031. She was so audacious. In fact, Qiao Zijin did not tell Ding Jiyi that after getting such an answer from the teacher, she was so angry that she rebutted the teacher. I was beaten and my hair was cut to uneven lengths, yet the school was not able to find any clues. What if someone wants to kill me and they use the scissors on me instead of on my hair next time? Is this what the school will do as well? What Qiao Zijin said would inevitably cause panic among other students. Everyone came to school to study and pick up skills, hoping that they could find a job and support themselves. If someone was killed in the school, and the students were no longer safe in school, nobody would dare to study at the school. If their lives were in danger, it was useless to work and earn money. Even if they did not take diploma studies and their highest education level was elementary level, as long as they were willing to work hard, it would not be difficult to get a job. The pay might not be high, but at the very least, they were safe. Nobody would want to lose their lives for studying in school. Since Qiao Zijin was hit on the back, no one could see the bruises on her back. Everyone only laughed at her hairstyle. Now that Qiao Zijin made it sound to be very serious, everyone could not help but panic. Everyone was fearful of dying. The teachers were unhappy that Qiao Zijin caused such an uproar in the school. Initially, the teacher was sorry that they could not help Qiao Zijin, but now, the teacher was angry and turned sullen. Our school has been established for more than 10 years. There has never been such an incident in the past. There are so many students and nobody has ever been targeted. Why is it that you are the only person who was taught a lesson? The teacher meant that there must be something wrong with Qiao Zijin. Otherwise, why would the person beat her instead of other students? You are shirking responsibility. Qiao Zijin was furious. She was beaten and her hair was cut to uneven lengths. Clearly, she was the victim. Qiao Zijin felt that the school had to bear a huge responsibility regarding this incident. She was upset at encountering such an unlucky incident. At the same time, she felt that the school should compensate her. Since she was dating Chen Jun, Qiao Zijin had no need of any material compensation. She only wanted to have a good reputation at school, be awarded scholarships, or be crowned as an outstanding student at school. Qiao Zijin was still young and did not know the ways of the world, and Ding Jiyi was not around to act the role of the lashing parent. As a result, Qiao Zijin unknowingly adopted Ding Jiyi's unreasonable attitude instead of the usual pitiful-looking attitude that she always used to her advantage. All right, we shan't shirk responsibility. Since you want to find out the culprit, why don't you tell us who you have offended so that we will know who the suspects are? I didn't offend anyone. Qiao Zijin denied that she had provoked anyone else. The teacher smiled in anger. If that is the case, please be patient with us. Our school will look into it. As for what happened today, we will take measures to ensure that it will not happen again. In the teacher's opinion, they would not find any clues about this incident. The children nowadays were very cunning. They had yet to join the workforce and they were already far more scheming than the adults. Given Qiao Zijin's temper, the teacher felt that she must have antagonized other people to have incurred their wrath. The teacher knew that Qiao Zijin's roommates received a text message beforehand. That was why they came downstairs to fetch Qiao Zijin. The text message was not sent from Qiao Zijin's cell phone. The teacher suspected that it was sent by the person who beat Qiao Zijin. The culprit went soft with the punches. The culprit also cut Qiao Zijin's hair and sent the text message. The purpose was very clear. This must be a personal grudge. The culprit did not go overboard and it was Qiao Zijin who returned late in the night. She reeked of alcohol when her roommates helped her back to the dormitory. The teacher had no liking to a student like her. Qiao Zijin felt wronged that she was beaten and her hair was cut to uneven lengths. Since the teacher did not comfort her, she could only complain to Ding Jiyi. Ding Jiyi turned green after knowing what happened. That wretched girl really did it. Don't cry anymore. My heart aches for you. Perhaps this is an accident. Even though Ding Jiyi figured out what was going on, she dared not bring it up to Jiao Zijin. She knew that if she told Jiao Zijin the truth that she was the one who landed Jiao Zijin in this trouble, Jiao Zijin would certainly blame her for it. If it's an accident, there won't be a second time. Didn't you say that your hair looks messy? Why don't you spend some money to go for a haircut? In fact, short hair looks cool on you. I would need money to have a good haircut. Jiao Zijin did not want to have a simple haircut at a few yuan only. I will transfer 100 yuan to your account. You can have a nice haircut. Stop crying. Ding Jiyi knew what Jiao Zijin meant. She had no choice but to transfer 100 yuan to her. After giving Jiao Zijin 100 yuan, it would mean that Ding Jiyi could not have any meat dishes in the next half a month. She had no choice but to buy 2 boxes of instant noodles from the wholesale market for her meals in the next half a month. The only slight change to her meals would be an addition of a sunny side up. Ding Jiyi had too many instant noodles that she felt like throwing up. She ate the noodles in dark silence and could not help but cry. Ding Jiyi wiped the tears off her face, but she had no idea why she cried or what she was crying for. She felt that this kind of life was not what she wanted. She should not have gone her separate ways with old Jiao. He should not have filed for a divorce as well. If so, old Jiao would accompany her when she was having her meals. With old Jiao around, they would have meat dishes to eat and she would not have to resort to eating instant noodles every single day. All that said, Jiao Nan, that wretched girl, had to be blamed. She caused her to end up in a divorce and lose her family. She was even heartless enough to use such evil methods on her sister. Ding Jiyi finished the instant noodles quickly. Her heart was filled with hatred. She needed to eat in order to be strong. She had to demand an explanation from that wretched girl. She wanted to know why she was so heartless and did that to Zijin. After Ding Jiyi was divorced, she put all her attention on her beloved daughter, Jiao Zijin. She had no contact with Jiao Nan. She made a Herculean effort to get Jiao Nan's contact number. She even went looking for Jiao Dongliang in order to get Jiao Nan's contact number. Jiao Dongliang was surprised when he heard that Ding Jiyi wanted to show her concern and contact Jiao Nan. Chapter 1032 Did you do that to your sister? Jiao Dongliang was happy to know that Ding Jiyi wanted to show concern for Nan Nan. Do you want to contact Nan Nan? Of course. I gave birth to Nan Nan. Previously, I was very busy. Zijin had to prepare for the college entrance examination and go to college. That was why I didn't really contact Nan Nan. Now that Zijin is more sensible, I should show concern for Nan Nan. While she was asking for Jiao Nan's contact number from Jiao Dongliang, Ding Jiyi did not forget to put in a good word for Jiao Zijin. Jiao Dongliang was almost taken in by Ding Jiyi. Ding Jiyi and the younger daughter were mother and daughter. Was it true that keeping a proper distance from others would be a way to maintain a good relationship with them? It had been years since they were apart from each other. Why did Ding Jiyi wait until now to get Jiao Nan's contact number? Jiao Dongliang remembered that Ding Jiyi only had unhappy memories with Jiao Nan. He could not help but suspect her real purpose. Nan Nan came back a few days ago and she had been to the quad. Don't tell me that you don't know about it. If you miss Nan Nan, why didn't you look for her then? Isn't it better to get her contact number from her? Ding Jiyi looked unsettled, but she heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that the wretched girl did not tell old Jiao what happened that day. If old Jiao knew that the wretched girl was so vicious to her sister, he would have lectured her and sought justice for Zijin. Ding Jiyi felt that she had seized upon the chinks in Jiao Nan's armor. I was wrong in the past. I am worried that Nan Nan will still be angry with me. Therefore, I feel that it might be awkward if I talk to her face to face. I feel that it is better to take things one step at a time and speak to her through the phone first. It is December now. Nan Nan will have her exams in January. I will be able to meet her when she is back for Lunar New Year. Isn't that more suitable? Jiao Dongliang frowned. It's good that you want to mend the relationship with her. Nan Nan is a good child. She will be able to accept you. Since it is already December, you can wait until January to speak to Nan Nan directly. By then, you will be able to know her contact number. Xiao Dongliang had been tricked by Ding Jiyi several times. He was fearful of his ex-wife. He was reminded of the troubles that she caused in the past. Xiao Dongliang's demeanor changed. If there is nothing else, you should leave. I need to work. In the future, don't come looking for me. He was worried that other people might misunderstand. Ding Jiyi never expected that Xiao Dongliang would not give her Xiao Nan's contact number. She looked upset. Her question chilled Xiao Dongliang to the bone. I am not attached, but Nan Nan said she isn't against it. Her question chilled Xiao Dongliang to the bone. I don't, but Nan Nan said she isn't against it. Even if he did not remarry, he would never get back together with Ding Jiyi. Back then, people used to say that being single was not easy. However, to Xiao Dongliang, who had been divorced for years, he led a better life than when he was married. No one would make endless complaints and behave unreasonably. No one would look down on him, being biased toward one of their children and mistreating the other child. Although it was true that he was the only one at home, he would travel around and chat with his friends. His days were fulfilling. Moreover, before they had a divorce, Xiao Dongliang no longer shared a room with Ding Jiyi. After the divorce, Xiao Dongliang could have whatever food that he liked. He did not need to accommodate other people's eating preferences. The younger daughter was filial and considerate. Most of the time, there was no need for him to worry about her. Although it was true that parents were bound to worry for their children, if given a choice, one still preferred to lead an easy life. In short, even though he felt lonely after the divorce, it was better than the days before his divorce. Even if there was only a slight improvement right now, Xiao Dongliang had no reason to forsake his current living arrangement to get back together with Ding Jiyi, leading the unhappy and eventful days with her. What did you say? How dare the wretched girl agree to having a stepmother? I have made it very clear. Xiao Dongliang nodded. Nan Nan had said so and I told her that I would consider it seriously. Xiao Dongliang was undecided when Xiao Nan brought up this topic. But now that Ding Jiyi was right before him and she asked whether he was single, Xiao Dongliang came to a decision. Ding Jiyi's knees buckled. Old Xiao, are you kidding? Are you doing that to spite me? If old Xiao remarried, what about her? Xiao Dongliang shook his head seriously. Even though we are divorced, you should know that I am not someone who will joke about this. It was a coincidence that his friends were concerned about him and some even wanted to be his matchmaker. If there's nothing else, I will go back to the factory to work. You are not young anymore. I wish you happiness. Xiao Dongliang was not evil-natured. He was serious about starting another relationship. He would not be so selfish as to stop Ding Jiyi from having another relationship after their divorce. Xiao Dongliang felt that it was only when both of them each had their own family would he no longer have any relations to Ding Jiyi in this life. Ding Jiyi wanted to get Xiao Nan's contact number from Xiao Dongliang in order to give her a scolding. She did not expect that she would be told such a devastating piece of news. It was always on her mind to get back together with old Xiao, yet he was encouraged by Xiao Nan to marry another woman. Ding Jiyi wished that she could turn back time. When she gave birth to Xiao Nan in the hospital, she should have killed her nemesis when she found out that she was a girl. The wretched girl was the reason why Xiao Dongliang divorced her. Now, she encouraged Xiao Dongliang to remarry. She was too much. Ding Jiyi was angered to tears. She wondered what sins she had committed in her previous life to have such an unfilial daughter like Xiao Nan. Just then, Ding Jiyi received a text message on her cell phone. There were only 10 digits in the message. Ding Jiyi gritted her teeth and thought about it before dialing the number in the message. Hello, who is this? Xiao Nan saw an unfamiliar number on her caller ID display. She picked up the phone and answered. It was not so popular now for property agents to make calls to sell their property as compared to many years later. Ding Ji widened her eyes in shock as she recognized Jiao Nan's voice from the other end of the phone. She growled. Did you do that to your sister? You little beast, did you tell your father to remarry? You are so heartless. You abandon your mother but you want to have a stepmother. Is it good to get a stepmother? Are you courting death? She should not implicate her and encourage Jiao Dongliang to remarry. Chapter 1033 A misunderstanding due to overthinking. Jiao Nan covered the receiver and walked outside calmly, looking for somewhere isolated before she said coldly to the phone, You should know very well about Jiao Zijan's incident. I have already warned you that day at home. How dare you? Why not? You kept bullying me. If I don't retaliate, won't I be doing an injustice to myself? Jiao Nan sneered. It turned out that her mother thought that she was merely threatening her and would not really do it. Ding Ji gripped the phone tightly. She had to resist the urge to smash the phone. She paid a certain amount of money to get the phone. If she smashed it, she would have to spend money to get another phone. How can you be so evil? Zijan is your sister. I don't wish to be your daughter. Mom, you should know that certain traits are hereditary. At least, this proves that my sister, you, and I are related by blood. This was the pot calling the kettle black. She was no better than her. If you are angry at me, you can come at me. Your sister is innocent. Jiao Nan smiled angrily, looking upward in exasperation. Innocent? Do you think I will believe you? It seems that I have not made myself clear that day. I knew very well why you came looking for me. Even though you refuse to admit, it doesn't mean that I will believe you. Since she dared to use you against me, she should be prepared to bear the consequences. I have said long ago that whatever you do to me, I will make her suffer twice. Direct my anger at you? I am not foolish. I will do whatever that hurts you the most. You. Back then, Ding Ji could not make Jiao Nan listen to her. Right now, all the more she could not control Jiao Nan. What exactly do you want? Ding Ji was not afraid that Jiao Nan would direct her anger at her. But Ding Ji was worried that Jiao Nan would retaliate against Jiao Zijan. It would be beyond her ability to help her then. Her heart ached that Jiao Zijan had to go through those sufferings. Nothing but to leave me alone. Don't show up in front of me and don't bother me. Also, stop scheming against me. We are unlike other mothers and daughters. If you are worried about your precious daughter, tell Jiao Zijan not to go overboard and stop trying to meddle with other people's affairs. As long as they did not provoke her, she would not be bothered with them. I gave birth to you. I am your mother. Now that you are Cinderella, you want to abandon your mother who is poor and hard up? Aren't you afraid that the Zai family will know about it and be doubtful about you? Aren't you afraid that other people will find out that you abandon your mom and say that you are unfilial? Do you think that you are good enough for Zai Sheng and will not shame the Zai family? No one in this world could abandon their mother and be so brazen about it. Jiao Nan leaned against the wall, curling the corners of her lips. I only said that both of you are not to show up in front of me or provoke me. Rest assured. Regardless of whether you spent any money or effort on me for the past years, once I graduate and earn money, I will do my part to provide for you. I have never thought of shirking responsibility. Let me reiterate. The money that I give you will be subjective to the economic situation in the country. She would only give her the amount of money that was needed for her daily expenses. She would not give her any more than that. Jiao Nan was about to hang up the phone. Wait a minute. Is there anything else? Your dad is no longer young. Doesn't he find it shameful to marry again? We have been married for so long. Tell your dad not to be reckless. He. Jiao Nan smiled dryly. I remember that you mentioned stepmother just now. I agree that a few stepmothers are good, but the problem is biological mothers may not be good as well. Even if the probability of having a good mother is high, I must be very unlucky to have a mother who is worse than a stepmother. Qiao Nan ignored Ding Ji and hung the phone on her. Qiao Nan went back to the library to do her reading with a cold look on her face. 5 minutes had passed and she was still on the same page. Qiao Nan closed the book and let out a long sigh. She no longer wanted to be influenced by her mother and Qiao Zijin, but it seemed that she still could not help but be affected. Her mother had merely talked to her on the phone and her mood soured. Qiao Nan frowned. She had to come up with a way to solve this problem. She had given Qiao Zijin a lesson and her mother knew that she was no pushover. However, her mother would forget the incident in no time and she would revert to her old ways. She could not entertain her mother anymore, nor accede to her requests. The only way right now was to stay unaffected despite what her mother did or said. Qiao Nan gritted her teeth and gave up on reading the books related to her major. Instead, she went to the library to borrow a book on psychology. There were quite a lot of students in the library. Ever since Qiao Nan became famous in school, most of the students in the school knew who she was. Yu Xiao, who ran into Qiao Nan, was surprised at the book that Qiao Nan had with her. It was already near the end of the term, and the teachers were busy helping the students to highlight important points to note for the final term exams. Why did Qiao Nan not revise for the exams but read books on psychology instead? Could it be that Qiao Nan was thinking of changing her major? But that was just a fleeting thought. Yu Xiao told herself not to be bothered by what she saw. Qiao Nan had already joined the party's study class, while she had not. Yu Xiao was very clear about what she needed to do in her 4 years of college in order to pave a way for her future. Firstly, she had to try her best to join the party while she was in school. Secondly, she had to get a scholarship. Thirdly, she had to be active in school and get to know more people in school who would help her along when she started to work. There was no way for Yu Xiao to join the party this year. She might not even have the chance to do that in the first half of next year. On the other hand, Qiao Nan might be able to complete all the procedures next year. Yu Xiao had nothing but envy for Qiao Nan. It was impossible for her to accomplish the first and third goals. She could only work on her second goal, which was to get the scholarship. Therefore, she had to work hard and put in extra effort. After she was awarded a scholarship and had some accomplishments in school, it would be easier for more people to get to know her. In the next 4 years, she had to make sure that she was well known among the students in Peking University. Otherwise, it would be impossible for her to accomplish her third goal. With that thought in mind, Yu Xiao decided to buck up. She watched with a curl in her lips as Qiao Nan pored over the book. Chapter 1034 went back home after exam for Lunar New Year. They were from the same faculty and the same batch. They had their classes in the same classroom. Qiao Nan would often be called upon to answer the questions in class. Yu Xiao knew that Qiao Nan did very well in class. If she wanted to get a scholarship, it would mean that Qiao Nan was her fierce rival. Not only must she get the scholarship, but she must also have the highest possible results. It was a good thing that Qiao Nan was reading books related to psychology instead of her own major. Yu Xiao relaxed and concentrated on her revision. She had to do more revision now. It was her chance to do better than Qiao Nan. Qiao Nan wanted to overcome the negative influence that Ding Ji had on her. That was why she decided to read up on psychology books and sort out her thoughts. She had no idea that Yu Xiao would overthink as a result of that. There were many things in the world that would not turn out as what one wished. The exams are finally over. Qiao Nan, all the exams are over. We intend to relax ourselves tonight. Do you want to join us? A few female students greeted Qiao Nan, asking her to have fun with them. Qiao Nan gave them a friendly smile. It was not her intention to be a loner, but she turned out to be one. Thank you, but I have already bought a train ticket to go home tonight. I am sorry. If there is a chance, let's have fun when school reopens. Okay, You have agreed to join us after school reopens. You must not reject us then. The female students were not unhappy that Jiaonan rejected them. They did not feel that Jiaonan was looking down on them either. Instead, they agreed to ask her out next time. Jiaonan did not have any cliques in the school. Apart from the students in the club, she seldom made new friends. Moreover, she did not live in the school's dormitory. Therefore, it was not surprising that she was a loner. Jiaonan was well known in the school, and the new English club was getting more and more popular in Peking University. As a result, more and more people noticed Jiaonan, the freshman who was the secretary of the new English club. Initially, many people felt that Jiaonan looked down on them as she was indifferent to them. But when all the students were revising for their exams, someone noticed that Jiaonan prepared good revision notes, and when asked to lend the notes, Jiaonan agreed right away. When one had yet to know someone, one would feel that the person was arrogant and aloof. But upon knowing the person, one would realize that it was not as what one had imagined. Perhaps it was because Jiaonan was much more approachable than what they had imagined. After getting to know her, there were fewer rumors that Jiaonan was cold and indifferent. Some students would also take the initiative to ask Jiaonan to join them in their activities. The semester was ending soon, but at the very least, after Shi Qing transferred to PLA National Defense University, Jiaonan finally had someone to share the table with during meals. Sure. See you next year when school reopens, Jiaonan waved to the female students and said her Lunar New Year greetings to her boss at the Palace Museum before rushing back to the Lin family's residence. She took her luggage that she had packed beforehand and went to catch the train. In the early 2000s, the trains were very crowded during the Spring Festival travel season. Thankfully, Lin Yuankong had told his pupil to buy the ticket for Jiaonan once the train ticket for her intended departure date was up for sale. Otherwise, she might not be able to get a train ticket to go back home on the day her exams ended. It was good to have someone help her with the train tickets. Jiaonan not only managed to buy the train ticket, but her seniors also purchased a soft berth ticket for her. At least, Jiaonan would not need to go through too much suffering on her journey back home. Jiaonan had an overnight train ticket. She could sleep through the night and she would reach Pingcheng the next morning at around 10 o'clock. Nan, over here. Xiao Dongliang spotted his daughter right away among the throngs of crowds. Dad. Jiaonan's eyes lit up. She carried the luggage and rushed toward Xiao Dongliang. Dad, didn't I tell you that I would reach at around 10 o'clock? How long have you been waiting here? Are you cold? Jiaonan's heart ached at the thought of her father waiting for her in the cold. He was her biological father. I am not cold. I only waited for a short while. Is the luggage heavy? Give me the luggage. I will carry it. Xiao Dongliang beamed at Jiaonan. He used one hand to carry the luggage and he took a paper bag out from the pocket of his cotton coat with another hand. You must be cold. It's still hot. Have a bite. Jiaonan cradled the paper bag in her hands. She was excited at the soft touch. Is it baked sweet potatoes? Yes. I bought it for you. Let's go home. Xiao Dongliang knew that his daughter loved baked sweet potatoes. He checked that she was about to reach and he squeezed out of the crowd to buy them. It was windy and nobody would board the train at the pickup location. Therefore, although it was a slight hassle, it was easy for Xiao Dongliang to make his way in and out. It's good that the train did not arrive late. Ha ha ha. Perhaps I am lucky. Jiaonan smiled as she ate the sweet potatoes. It is well baked. It is very soft and tasty. I told the boss to pick the good ones for me. Xiao Dongliang was glad that Jiaonan loved it. The bicycle is here. Dad, is this suitable? Of course it is. Xiao Dongliang smiled confidently. Didn't you know that back then? Back then, he rode the Model 28 bicycle with his whole family. Nan sat on the wooden plank in front, while Ding Ji and Zijin sat on the seat behind. The family of four rode the bicycle to watch movies. However, Xiao Dongliang stopped in mid-sentence. It was inappropriate to bring this up now. Back then, Ding Jiyi was already biased toward Xiao Zijin. Xiao Nan was younger than Xiao Zijin by 2 years. The mother sat at the back, cradling the elder daughter, while the younger daughter sat at the front in the wind. Xiao Dongliang dismissed those thoughts and patted on the back seat. Nan Nan, have a seat first. Xiao Nan knew what Xiao Dongliang was about to say. She did not learn of it from her parents. She heard about it from her neighbors in the previous life. Back then, she would console herself that at the very least, the entire family went to catch a movie together. It was good enough that her parents did not leave her at home. Since Xiao Dongliang stopped in mid-sentence, Xiao Nan stopped her thoughts from wandering. Dad, you can get on the bicycle first. I know how to jump onto the bicycle later. Don't worry about me. Are you sure? How about the bag here? Dad, I can do it. Xiao Nan patted her chest with confidence. Since Xiao Nan was so confident, Xiao Dongliang decided to give it a try. If it could not work, he would get her to take the seat first. Chapter 1035. Xiao Nan had no choice but to be shortchanged. To his surprise, it was a success on the first try. Xiao Nan grabbed the bag and jumped onto the bicycle. Nan Nan, sit tight. I will speed up. Xiao Nan said okay, grabbing onto the bag with one hand and onto Xiao Dongliang's clothes with the other hand. Both Xiao Dongliang, who rode the bicycle, and Xiao Nan, who sat at the back, felt cold on their way back. They were glad to go home to a warm and comfortable house, and their frowns eased to relaxed smiles. Nan Nan, are you hungry? I will prepare some dishes right now. Xiao Dongliang had already bought the ingredients. Dad, I will help you. No, you should sit and rest. You can watch television. I will be done soon. Xiao Dongliang pushed Xiao Nan out of the kitchen. He had no intention of letting Xiao Nan help with preparing the meals. From the end of August onward, Xiao Nan was no longer just an ordinary student. She was a student of Peking University. Xiao Dongliang had always wished for his two daughters to have good future prospects and become college students. Xiao Zijin could not get into college, but Xiao Nan could. In the Xiao family, particularly in the eyes of Xiao Dongliang, it was a great honor to be a college student. Not only was Xiao Nan the provincial top humanities student in the college entrance examination, but she was also a college student in the capital. Because of this, Xiao Dongliang was able to hold his head high wherever he went. Those who knew or were on closer terms with Xiao Dongliang would ask him advice on how he educated Xiao Nan and what she learned when she was at home. They wanted Xiao Dongliang to share his experience so that they could use the same method at home. Xiao Dongliang was very popular in the factory as his daughter was very good at her studies. Because of this, Xiao Dongliang was among the workers who were awarded Advanced Workers' Honors at the factory this year. Nobody would expect that having a daughter who was good in her studies would be such an advantage. It was true that he owed it to his daughter, but Xiao Dongliang was not upset about it as this proved that he had good genes, and that was why his daughter was so outstanding. The father and daughter had their dinner happily. Nan Nan, since you are home, have you made a call to the Zai family? I forgot. Xiao Nan jumped in shock. She quickly made a call to the Zai family's residence. It was the auntie at the Zai family's residence who answered the call. She passed the phone to Miaojing as soon as she knew that it was Xiao Nan on the other end of the phone. Old Master Zai visited the Zai family in December because of Zai Hua's relationship with Wei Dai. Since it would be the Lunar New Year soon, he did not go back but stayed at the Zai family's residence. Old Master Zai might prefer to spend his time in the countryside with his friends, but it was the Chinese tradition to spend the Lunar New Year with one's family. Miaojing felt pleased as she hung up the phone. She was happy to know that Xiao Nan was back in Pingcheng. Zai Hua, who had been spending her time at home, rolled her eyes at Miaojing, who seemed overjoyed. You look as if you have your knife sharpened and are getting ready to charge at the pigs and goats. Her mother seemed as if she was getting ready to land her hands on Xiao Nan. Your smile is too devious. If you have a child, I will be the maternal grandmother. But if Nan Nan has a child, I will be the paternal grandmother. Miaojing had a satisfied smile on her face. Now that I am about to have a daughter-in-law, I will have my grandchild soon. It was rare that Zihua looked at Miaojing with a serious look on her face. Xiao Nan is only 21 years old after this Lunar New Year. She is still a freshman. She has 3 more years to go. Do you really intend for her to have a child as soon as she marries Zai Sheng? She had no doubts about Zai Sheng's body condition. As for Xiao Nan, she might have suffered when she lived with her mother, but now that her parents were divorced, Xiao Nan was leading a better life and there was a healthy glow on her cheeks. Xiao Nan seemed to be in good health as well. If they were to have a normal married life after their marriage without any contraceptive measures, there was a high probability of Xiao Nan being pregnant. What's there to be afraid of? I heard that one can take 1 year off in college. Nan Nan started school a year earlier than her peers because of her mom. It would not be a problem to take a year off in college. Besides, you should know Zai Sheng's situation. Compared to other military marriages, they are usually apart from each other. I am worried that if they don't make full use of the time that they are together, by the time they have time for each other, it will be too late. Miaojing was helpless as well. Compared to her old son, Xiao Nan was still very young. Xiao Nan, who was younger, had no other choice but to be short-changed. Miaojing could do nothing about it. Looking at Miaojing, who seemed to be in a dilemma, Zihua finally understood why Miaojing objected strongly to Nan Nan back then. Mom, is this the reason why you were unhappy when I used Xiao Nan as an example? Given their family's situation, it was indeed difficult for Xiao Nan. Of course. Miaojing was distressed. The reason why I disapproved in the past is that I feel sorry that the other party is still so young and has to make so many sacrifices. Furthermore, young people nowadays are very delicate. To put it bluntly, the young people have yet to grow up. When I heard that Zai Sheng's girlfriend is so young, I was constantly worried that after he married her, I would have to take care of the grandchild as well as the daughter-in-law. The daughter-in-law of the Zai family had to share the burden of the Zai family. Since the other party was still very young, Miaojing was worried that she would have 2 more children to take care of. If not for the fact that Nan Nan has fallen in love with Zai Sheng, I will not allow her to be with someone of a similar background as the Zai family. Miaojing might have her plans, but the reality was different. The 2 people that she cherished ended up being with each other. She had no way of protecting their interests at the same time. Zihua sighed. It was no wonder that her mother objected strongly to it. She would have a headache as well. Ring. The phone in the Zai family's residence rang again. Hello. Although Miaojing and Zihua sat next to the phone, the auntie still rushed out from the kitchen to answer the call. It's you again. Upon hearing Weida's voice, the auntie hung up the phone without another word. She then went back to the kitchen to continue with her chores. The phone at the Zai family's residence had a caller ID display. But whenever it was Weida on the line, no one in the Zai family would pick up the phone. Weida was aware of that. Therefore, he used another number to make the call to the Zai family's residence. Miaojing picked it up when he called for the first time. She hung up the phone when she found out who was on the line. Old Master Zai answered the phone when he called the second time and he hung up the phone. When Weida called for the third time, no one in the Zai family wanted to pick up the phone. They would wait for the auntie to answer the phone and find out who the caller was. If it was someone else other than Weida, they would take the phone from the auntie and answer the call. The auntie knew that the Zai family disliked Weida and she watched Zihua grow up. Therefore, she hated Weida who deceived Zihua. She would hang up his call right away. It's too much to resort to pestering and harassing. Miaojing was annoyed. Weida had driven her up the wall. She felt like going to the extreme by driving Weida out of Pingcheng. There was a cold glint in Zihua's eyes. Mom, don't worry. You won't see him anymore after Lunar New Year. He won't dare to call us ever again. Hua, we won't do anything illegal. Miaojing was shocked. Zihua sneered. The Zai family has a good reputation. How can I allow it to be destroyed by Wei Di? I won't do anything to him. He is not worthy of it. My friends heard about what happened and want to teach him a lesson. She had nothing to do with it. Wei Di was such a fool. Everything that he had was given to him by Zihua. Given this situation, how dare Wei Di lie to Zihua? Furthermore, he was so audacious to bring Wei Wei to Pingcheng and wanted Zihua to take care of him. He was courting death. Zihua's friends wanted to teach Wei Di a lesson, but there was no need for them to do it by themselves. They only needed to spread the news about Wei Di. Once they did that, there was no way for Wei Di to run businesses in Pingcheng. One had to have the capital to start a company. The company did not make any money but had to incur losses. The Wei family was not rich. It would not be long before Wei Di ended up with debts and was sent out of Pingcheng. That's good. As long as it was not illegal, Miaojing did not care how they taught Wei Di a lesson or how miserable he ended up to be. The Zai family did not care to know how miserable Wei Di was. They had cut off all contact with him. The problem was, even though Wei Di was not able to contact the Zai family, he was still able to contact other people. Xiao Nan, I know that you are back. Come out right now. You are so wicked. You are already engaged to Zai Sheng. I did not do you any wrong. How can you be so selfish and go overboard? You may be enjoying life, but you deprive others of the chance to lead a good life. The person that Wei Di hated the most in this life was Xiao Nan. Ever since she knew that he was in love with Zihua, Xiao Nan did not treat him well and she refused all his pleas to help him. She even made trouble for Zihua and him. If not for Xiao Nan, Zihua and the Zai family would never know that Wei Wei was his son. Although he had a wedding banquet in the countryside, his profile stated that he was single. Xiao Nan found out about his secret and caused him to be left with nothing. He had to demand an explanation from her. Xiao Nan had heard about Wei Di's recent situation. His company was solely funded by Zihua and it was with the help of Zihua's friends that it managed to get the business going. Right now, the company was declared bankrupt. Wei Di could no longer go back to the army and his company had declared bankruptcy. He had no choice but to set up a smaller company. However, it was because of the help of others that he was successful in his previous company. Wei Di could no longer rely on Zihua's childhood friends to help him. He had to run the company by himself. The problem was the bosses that used to be amiable and pleasant mocked him and snubbed him. Wei Di started the new company with the money that he had saved previously. After failing at clinching business deals, he did not have much money left. In the end, Wei Di was left with no choice but to dismiss all the employees in his company. Now, he was solely in charge of running the company. The Zai family's residence was like an impregnable fortress. Wei Di had no way of getting near the Zai family. Recently, he heard that Xiao Nan was back from the capital for her year-end break. Wei Di rushed to her house, thinking of making things difficult for her. Xiao Nan kept silent at Wei Di's rude and crude remarks. She picked up the phone at her house and dialed 110. Hello, yes, I want to make a police report. My house is it. Police officer, I feel that my life is being threatened. There was no need for Xiao Nan to go into detail. She directed the receiver toward the door. The police officer could hear the harsh remarks that Wei Di made clearly. The police officer's demeanor changed when he made out what Wei Di was saying. You must remain calm. Remember, no matter what, you must not open the door to let the person in. We will be there right away. Okay, I will not open the door. After confirming that the police officers would be there, Xiao Nan hung up the phone and yawned. She waited for the police officers to bring Wei Di away. Xiaonan walked to the door when she heard the sirens of the police car. What are you doing? Even if you are a police officer, you can't catch people as you wish. I didn't break the law. Why do you put these cuffs on me? Do you know that I used to be a soldier? I am part of the People's Liberation Army. Xiaonan could not help but curse. How dared he bring up the People's Liberation Army? He had shamed them. Xiaonan opened the door after she was certain that the police officer had Wei De under control. Police officer, thank you very much. It's nothing. You have done the right thing. One must report to police when one sees a suspicious person. Wei De seemed suspicious. The police officer subdued him without another word. It was true that Wei De looked unkempt. But the police officers had seen other wanderers who were in a worse state than him. However, the police officers were worried. Wei De did not seem to be in the right state of mind. He kept lashing out at Xiaonan and would kick the door from time to time. The police officers felt that he was aggressive and in an unstable state of mind. After determining that Wei De was not related to the person who called the police officers subdued Wei De so that he would not have the chance to launch an attack on other people. Yes, I will. She would definitely do that. Xiaonan, it's you again. You want to do me in? I won't let you off. Wei De hated Xiaonan to the core. She had called the police to arrest him. He did not understand why there would be people like Xiaonan in the world. If she was dead or did not exist in the first place, it would be so much better. There were all kinds of people in the world. Why was Xiaonan bent on targeting him? Why was she bent on meddling in his affairs, causing him to be in such a state? All his plans were thwarted and he made a fool in front of everyone, becoming the joke of the entire Pingcheng. In the past month, apart from sending money to his hometown on time, Wei De refused to speak on the phone with his family in the countryside. He gave the excuse that he was busy at work and his company needed to move to a new location. But if this went on, even if Wei De could come up with all sorts of excuses, he would not be able to keep up with the appearances for long. Chapter 1037 Merely a subsidiary. Wei De did not dare to tell his parents in the countryside that he had broken up with Zihua. She might be old and single, but she did not want him anymore. Do you know each other? The police officers looked at Xiaonan curiously. Xiaonan sighed. Dirty linen should not be aired in public. In fact, I don't really know him. I only met him a few times. He is a swindler who cheated people of their feelings. Clearly, back in his countryside, yet he deceived my relative. We saw through his true colors not long ago. He failed to deceive my relative. Hence, he is here to create trouble for us. He thinks that since I am a young lady, I must be a pushover. Xiaonan was very vague, but it was enough for the police officers to fill in the blanks and make a guess about Wei De's situation. Wei De was not the only person who held a wedding banquet in the countryside but did not collect the marriage certificate and came to the city to fool around. They had met several irresponsible men previously. The police officers did not ask any more questions. There was no need to ask further. The man was a scumbag and he shamed all men. Seeing that Wei De did not behave himself and kept struggling, the police officers pinned his upper arms to prevent him from moving around. The police officers were certain that Wei De used to serve in the army. Judging from the way he struggled, he seemed physically strong. However, this annoyed the police officers further. Since he used to be from the People's Liberation Army, how dare he resort to trickery? He was the scumbag of society. Behave yourself. I will give you a lesson when you are at the police station. The two police officers put Wei De in the police car and drove off, leaving the small quad. While Wei De was screaming at Xiaonan, the neighbors could not really tell what Wei De was ranting about. They did not take a good look at him or listen intently to what he said. In the end, they had the impression that a man was out to create trouble for Xiaonan, and he was arrested by the police officers. Xiaonan was well known in the quad as the clever child of that family. She was a role model to all the children. As a result, the people in the quad were more willing to believe Jiao Nan whom they knew. Besides, they saw that the police officers arrested Weida and commended Jiao Nan for reporting to the police. Therefore, Weida must be in the wrong, and they despised him further. The man does not seem to be a good person. Did he target Jiao Nan as she is alone at home? It could be. In the future, we must be careful. We must not let this kind of person into the quad. Perhaps it is our groundless worries, but this man came after Jiao Nan today. He might target our children next time. It was common for people to vent one's anger out on somebody else, especially those who were weaker than them. They had to take preventive measures to make sure that it did not happen again. Thank you, everyone. Jiao Nan overheard the conversation between the neighbors and gave them a grateful smile. She chatted with a few of them, telling them that the winter break was too short and she had no intention of teaching the students. She then closed the door and went back to rest. Jiao Nan thought about it but did not inform the Zai family about what had happened just now. She did not want to upset them further. Weida must be driven to desperate actions and had no other choice but to look for her. Jiao Nan was certain that Zihua was very firm in her attitude this time. That was why even when Weida despised her, he turned to her for help. Nan, I heard that a madman came to our house today and he was taken away by the police officers. Are you okay? Xiao Dongliang came back from his work at the factory. He heard the neighbors talking about this and paled in fright. As soon as he reached home, Xiao Dongliang pulled Jiao Nan to him to have a closer look, making sure that she was not hurt. Jiao Nan allowed Xiao Dongliang to inspect her for injuries before she spoke. Dad, he is no madman. He is Weida. He. There was a disdainful look on Xiao Dongliang's face. What was he doing here? We have nothing to do with him. What else could it be but for me to help him reconcile with Sister Zihua? Xiao Nan replied. He must be out of his mind. Anyone can tell that I will never agree to it. Xiao Dongliang agreed. He must be driven to desperate actions. He was left with no choice, so he had to try even if it seemed highly impossible. Dad, do you know about his current situation? I heard that his previous company has gone bankrupt. He had another small company, but I heard that he is the only person in the entire company. Obviously, he could not keep his small business running. Things have been going on for so long. It is nothing if his business has to fold. The worst is that he owes a huge amount of debts. He did not earn any money, but he had a lot of expenses. His parents were ordinary peasants. They did not have many lands. If Weida closed his company in the future, even if he worked his entire life and saved up all his money without spending a single cent, he would not be able to repay such a large amount of debts. Serves him right. Xiao Nan felt much better after knowing that Weida was in such dire straits. She was a woman. She had to stand on Zihua's side and spurn Weida, who cheated Zihua of her feelings. Now that he is in such a bad situation, I don't think he can stay in Pingcheng any longer. If that's the case, it is the best outcome. The Zai family, including Zihua, has no wish of seeing Weida ever again in this lifetime. Once Weida left, the Zai family would finally be freed of him. Let's not talk about Weida. The Lunar New Year is coming, yet he was taken to the police station. He must be fuming. Nan, what do you want to eat this year? Xiao Dongliang knew that this would be the last Lunar New Year the father and daughter could spend together. Therefore, he wanted to prepare a sumptuous meal for them. I am fine with anything. Dad, I will have whatever you prepare. Anyway, we have the same preferences. You can buy the ingredients according to your preferences. It won't go wrong. Xiao Nan was not particular about this. Xiao Dongliang thought about it and nodded. All right, I will decide for myself. Xiao Dongliang turned with his back to Xiao Nan. His tone changed slightly. I met your mom a few days ago. She wanted the four of us to Spend the Lunar New Year together. Xiao Nan's voice croaked, her tone slightly raised. Xiao Dongliang smiled. I won't agree. Fortunately, your mom still knows her limits. She did not make this request. What your mom meant was that when it is the first day of the Lunar New Year, you can go back to the Qiao family's residence to have a meal with them. Ding Jiyi might have made the request, but he would not agree to it. What about you? Between her and her father, her mother should prefer to invite her father instead of her. She was just going along with him. Why would she invite her instead of her father? Was she up to something? Chapter 1038 The Elder Son-in-Law's Visit. Xiao Dongliang did not express much emotion. I'm not going. Did she invite you? Yes, but it's not appropriate for me to go. After the divorce, Nan Nan was still Ding Jiyi's daughter. The problem was that Xiao Dongliang could not accept sitting together with his former wife in a gathering on the first day of Lunar New Year. It was as if they were still relatives. He had declined the invitation, but he did not do so for Xiao Nan. He brought the news home for Xiao Nan to decide for herself. I'm not going either. Xiao Dongliang was not even going. It was thus easier for Xiao Nan to express her inner thoughts. It is impossible for mom and me to get along in my entire life. I'm afraid I will suffer from indigestion after having that meal. Soon after, I may have to pay it back to her with interests. Her mother was treating her to a meal. There could only be one situation: meal in disguise of some plot. If you don't wish to go, that's fine. After thinking, Xiao Dongliang agreed. Previously, Ding Jiyi pestered Xiao Dongliang about giving her Nan Nan's contact number. In the beginning, Xiao Dongliang felt glad that Ding Jiyi was finally behaving like a mother. She had become more sensible and knew how to show concern for Xiao Nan. After a while, he felt that something was not right. As such, he did not give it to her. Since that rejection, Ding Jiyi did not appear again. She also did not request for his younger daughter's contact number. It was as if that sincere face that day did not belong to her. Given such behavior of Ding Jiyi, Xiao Dongliang really could not allow his younger daughter to meet Ding Jiyi. Last month, soon after you left, your mom came to me and requested for your contact number. I didn't give it to her. Thereafter, she did not look for me anymore. Recalling the initial happiness that he felt, Xiao Dongliang was afraid that Xiao Nan would be as easily taken in as him. He thus reminded her. Xiao Nan raised her brows. Her father did not give her mother her cell phone number. Who was the one who gave it to her mother then? Since you told me about this, I am going to let you know about something. The day before I left, Mom came to look for me. She insisted that I become the mediator for sisters Ihua and Weida and help them reconcile. I didn't agree. She was then criticized and hit by her mother. She's sick. Xiao Dongliang slammed the cup of water on the table hard with a bang. Next time, don't bother about your mom. No matter what excuse she uses to meet you, reject all of them. If it's hard for you to do so, just blame it all on me. Tell her that you are acting according to my instructions. Okay. Xiao Nan had the same thoughts too. She could only blame it on the fact that Ding Jiyi was her mother. It was not good for her to argue with her mother. If she were too much, she would attract blame and gossip easily. Nevertheless, if her father was the one who agreed to this, it would become a matter of conflict between her parents. It did not have anything to do with her anymore. After Xiao Dongliang and Xiao Nan decided on the tactic, the father-daughter pair then diverted their attention to what to have for dinner and also what dishes to prepare for the Lunar New Year. Finally, the factory that Xiao Dongliang was working at was closed and the employees could take a break. Xiao Dongliang wanted to wake up early to go marketing for fresh groceries. Early in the morning, he was held up by two people. Xiao Dongliang, who opened the door, saw a couple standing at his doorstep. That man was lifting his hand, obviously wanting to knock on the main entrance of their house. His other hand was holding onto a woman. They looked very intimate. At the sight of this, Xiao Dongliang's face turned sullen. Is there any matter? Dad, I came to see you. This is Chen Jun, my boyfriend. He has been to our house once. You have met him before. Xiao Zijin was sporting short hair now. She was smiling brightly. Xiao Dongliang knitted his brows in disdain. Zijin, didn't you used to like long hair in the past? Your haircut is a tad too short. Don't tell me you like the guy's hairstyle now. Xiao Dongliang was exaggerating a little. It was true that Xiao Zijin's hair was not long. It could not even cover her ears. This was the shortest hair that she ever had in history, besides the time when she was born. The bright smile of Xiao Zijin nearly crumbled when she heard Xiao Dongliang's words. Xiao Dongliang had touched the soft spot. When Xiao Zijin thought about Chen Jun's reaction when he first saw her after the examination, Xiao Zijin felt pain in her liver. At that time, Chen Jun's thoughts were obvious from his expression. Had your hair been eaten by a dog? Forget it. There's a saying that a generation gap exists with an age difference of 3 years. I am already an old man. I really can't understand the taste of current youngsters like you. It's fine as long as you are happy. After provoking Xiao Zijin's anger, Xiao Dongliang very irresponsibly expressed that he no longer wished to carry on with the topic. Why are the two of you here? Uncle, Zijin, and I came here to wish you a happy new year, Chen Jun said politely. Xiao Zijin, who was standing beside him, quickly lifted up the gifts that she was carrying in her hands. She looked very smug. These were the things that Chen Jun had prepared. There was something that he wanted from the Xiao family. As such, the gifts that he prepared would certainly not be cheap. Due to that, Xiao Zijin lifted her chin highly today. In the Xiao family, Xiao Nan was not the only capable one who had found a successful fiancé. She was not worse than Xiao Nan. She also picked one of the best men. At the sight of the cigarettes and wine that looked expensive in the bag, Xiao Dongliang waved his hands. No need. I don't smoke. I don't like to drink either. I don't need all these. Zijin, take them back and give them to your mom. Zijin was now under Ding Jiyi's custody. Even if the son-in-law really came to visit, these things prepared by Chen Jun should belong to Ding Jiyi. He would not touch any of them. Dad, this is Chen Jun's way of expressing his filial piety. Mom has them too. Xiao Zijin was not pleased. She insisted that Xiao Dongliang accept them. Dad, don't tell me you're unhappy because I found a boyfriend before I graduate from diploma studies. Xiao Zijin was directing at someone with her words. Regardless of this quad or the former quad that Xiao Nan was staying at, who was not aware that, immediately after the college entrance examination, Xiao Nan not only had a boyfriend but he was also promoted to her fiancé immediately. The younger daughter could have a fiancé. Couldn't the elder daughter get a boyfriend? Knowing that Xiao Zijin was indirectly questioning him if he was biased, Xiao Dongliang simply made himself clear. You are under your mom's care now. Whether you have a boyfriend or are getting married, that will be up to you and your mom. Send these things to your mom. It's not appropriate to give them to me. I'm afraid of trouble. If Ding Jiyi were to create a ruckus and said that he had received a huge bargain by taking these items although Xiao Zijin was under her custody, who could he seek justice from then? He had a younger son-in-law too. His younger son-in-law was willing to give him anything. There were times whereby he refused to accept them. He really did not care about such meager things from Chen Jun. Xiao Dongliang felt most proud of this in his heart. Zijin brought a person like Chen Jun to flaunt her prowess. Xiao Dongliang did not buy that. Xiao Zijin had been overthinking if she wanted to make use of this matter to turn the tables. Chapter 1039 Take it as a compensation for breaking up. Uncle, don't say that. Both auntie and you are parents who gave birth to and brought up Zijin. Zijin and I have to be filial to you. We won't drop any of you. Despite Xiao Dongliang's attitude, the smile on Chen Jun's face did not change or become stiff at all. He was still smiling so naturally and happily. He did not seem any less affectionate than when he saw his own father. Xiao Dongliang felt goosebumps all over immediately. If Chen Jun were to flare up, Xiao Dongliang could still chase him away. However, Chen Jun did not show any temper at all. He was appeasing him as if he was his own father. Xiao Dongliang really did not have a way with him. The more Chen Jun behaved this way, the more revulsion Xiao Dongliang felt toward him. He was a straightforward person. He liked to be direct and honest and also could not hide his temper. He disliked someone like Chen Jun who knew how to control his emotions very well. You really don't need to be so polite. To be honest, Zijin was taught and brought up by her mother. I didn't do much. If you really want to be good to Zijin or filial to the elders, treat Zijin's mother well. When we got a divorce a few years ago, we agreed that Zijin will be under her custody and Nan Nan under mine. Zijin's future matters do not have anything to do with me. I don't have the right to interfere. You don't need to feel sorry for me. I already have a son-in-law who is filial to me. In other words, Xiao Zijin could be her daughter, but he might not treat Chen Jun as his son-in-law. It was not his turn to accept Chen Jun's filial piety. Dad! Tears welled up in Xiao Zijin's eyes. She did not expect that Xiao Dongliang would not give her any face in front of Chen Jun. He even said such ugly words. Xiao Dongliang let out a sigh of exasperation. Zijin, you have chosen your own path. You have to decide what to do. He was aware that Chen Jun had wooed her younger daughter before becoming her elder daughter's boyfriend. Xiao Zijin completely did not want to heed his advice and objections. No matter how fatherly and benevolent Xiao Dongliang was, he could not be bothered to put in any more effort in this. Xiao Zijin was Ding Jiyi's biological daughter. They had the same temper. They could make as much fuss as they wanted to. A few years ago, at the time of his divorce, he had already given up the rights to intervene in the lives of this mother-daughter pair. Xiao Zijin was losing her temper. She looked as if she was going to argue and fall out with Xiao Dongliang. At the sight of this, Chen Jun's eyes turned sullen and he quietly gave Xiao Zijin a squeeze. Uncle, you seem busy. Most likely, it is not convenient today. Next time. If there is a chance next time, we will chat again. He knew that Xiao Zijin and Xiao Nan were not on good terms. However, Chen Jun did not expect that Xiao Zijin was also on such bad terms with Xiao Dongliang. His objective was very clear: to marry Xiao Zijin and become Zai Sheng's brother-in-law. Henceforth, the Chen family and the Zai family would become in-laws. Regardless of whether the Zai family was willing to, the Chen family would definitely benefit greatly with this layer of connection. If the Xiao Dongliang couple could become the mediator between Xiao Zijin and Xiao Nan, this pair of sisters, Chen Jun would stand to gain more than. If Xiao Zijin wanted to have a good relationship with Xiao Nan, Xiao Dongliang was the only avenue for this breakthrough. As for Ding Ji, he had widened his horizons after witnessing this future mother-in-law courting trouble time and again. Chen Jun was full of regrets. In the Xiao family of four, Xiao Zijin was quite clever, but he could completely manage her. After thinking through, Ding Ji was the only one who gave him the most headaches. She was the only one that he shunned and was most unwilling to face. Chen Jun, are you angry? When they were 100 meters away from the house of the Xiao family, Xiao Zijin saw that Chen Jun was keeping quiet. She then realized that Chen Jun was angry and asked him, "What do you think?" When Chen Jun said this, his tone was very indifferent. However, as soon as she heard it, Xiao Zijin was certain that he was angry. Xiao Zijin's expression changed. "I didn't manage to restrain myself for a moment. Even if you didn't, you have to." This had a lot to do with the Chen family and his future. Chen Jun halted his steps. "I have always thought that you are smarter than your mom. I hope that you won't let my past belief become a joke." Xiao Nan was already engaged with Zai Sheng. She would definitely become the daughter-in-law of the Zai family in the future. Under normal circumstances, wouldn't any normal people let bygones be bygones and work hard to fix the relationship with Xiao Nan in order to enjoy a free ride? Xiao Zijian's face turned red with anger. Didn't you let me be your girlfriend because Xiao Nan is my sister? I am thinking. You should not be the only one in this world who wishes to become the brother-in-law of Zai Sheng, right? She knew that Chen Jun actually liked Xiao Nan too. Previously, Chen Jun wanted to woo Xiao Nan, but Xiao Nan completely did not fancy him and had never been nice to Chen Jun. Chen Jun then gave up his first choice and became her boyfriend instead. She might not have Chen Jun as the only option. Chen Jun laughed. His laugh was so cold. Do you know what the greatest difference between Xiao Nan and you is? You always pay lip service while Xiao Nan takes action. Do you need a breakup? Chen Jun was never someone who would persist on the same road that would lead to nowhere. Otherwise, Chen Jun would be tapping on his relationship with Wang Yang most now. In this life, Zhu Baoqiu was still alive. He was also promising. However, although Wang Yang could not get everything that Zhu Baoqiu had, as long as Chen Jun was by Wang Yang's side to give Wang Yang ideas, Wang Yang would be able to receive more care from Zhu Qinqi. If the Wang family's status improved, they would also have to repay the Chen family for their help. Chen Jun had been targeting Xiao Nan for a few years. He knew the situation of the Xiao family at his fingertips. Ding Jiyi's attitude to Xiao Nan was akin to a stone in a latrine. It was both smelly and tough. Whether it was a daughter or son, whoever was successful and could let her lead a good life, have money and face would be a good child. Both of Ding Jiyi's children were daughters. There was no need to compare. Xiao Nan was better in her studies than Xiao Zijian. Her interpersonal relationships were also better than Xiao Zijian's. She was even engaged with Zai Sheng. It was not just Xiao Zijian. Even Chu Chenxi, whom Chen Jun had wanted to hit on previously, would have difficulty surpassing Xiao Nan in this life. The situation was already as such, but instead of finding ways to mend the mother-daughter relationship with Xiao Nan, Ding Jiyi was still so foolish to keep troubling Xiao Nan for the sake of Xiao Zijian. Toward this situation, Chen Jun felt his head aching badly. This was because he knew that no matter what he did to gain Xiao Nan's favor, he was afraid that Ding Jiyi would appear to drag him down. One Ding Jiyi was not enough. Now, Xiao Zijian was also joining in the fun. It was certainly quite difficult to find a way to climb to the top. Chen Jun already knew that this was an extremely difficult path. There was also the existence of people who were a lion at home and a mouse abroad. Chen Jun expressed that he would, at most, return to Wang Yang's side to help him and give up on Xiao Zijian. Chen Jun was definitely not just giving Xiao Zijian empty threats. She was already not someone that he fancied. She had many issues and even had a bad temper. It's all right. Keep these things. Take it as compensation from me for breaking up with you. Chapter 1040 Made a Wrong Judgment. You can work hard. Let's see who is willing to be Zai Sheng's brother-in-law. Brother-in-law? She must be thinking too highly of herself. No man that Xiao Zijian married would dare to be greeted by Zai Sheng as his brother-in-law. Ignorance was terrible. No. Chen Jun was about to release his grip on Xiao Zijian. He seemed serious about breaking up with Xiao Zijian. Xiao Zijian grabbed his hand anxiously. I said that in a peak of anger. All couples will quarrel and they will talk about breaking up in a peak of anger. You have taken things too seriously. We have been together for so long. Don't tell me that you don't like me at all and it is solely because I am Xiao Nan's sister. She really liked Chen Jun and wanted to be his wife. Most men don't like women who have a bad temper. Chen Jun did not soften his attitude. If you want me to like you, you have to behave yourself. Ever since we know each other, have you done anything for me to like you? Xiao Zijian was embarrassed. What do you want me to do then? Chen Jun raised his eyebrows and smiled. He pinched Xiao Zijin's face. As I have said, you have some wits about you. Right now, you don't need to do anything for me to like you. Instead, you must act so that it will benefit us. Do you understand? I have worked hard. Otherwise, she would not have asked her mother to hint at Qiaonan to help Weida and Zihua reconcile. If not for Chen Jun, she would not have known about Weida. Chen Jun sighed. You are too reckless regarding Weida's matter. Chen Jun was aware that Xiao Zijin had her good intentions. It was true that he told Xiao Zijin that if Weida married Zihua, it would be beneficial to them. In the first half of this year, the information that Chen Jun provided to Qiu Chenexai helped him and Qiu Chenexai join forces to deal with Qiaonan, causing her to barely miss her college entrance examination. Initially, Chen Jun did not know that Weida had been providing information to Qiu Chenexai. Through his interactions with Qiu Chenexai, he figured out that there was another party involved in this matter. Chen Jun spent a lot of effort to find out that Weida was involved in the incident and that he was in a relationship with Zihua. Both of them even intended to get married. Unfortunately, the Zai family was against the marriage. Since Chen Jun had seized the chinks in Weida's armor, once Weida married Zihua, he was confident that he would be able to make use of him to recover the position that used to belong to his father. Chen Jun had his plans thought out. Unfortunately, the people that he thought highly of had let him down. Xiao Zijin failed to meet his expectations. Weida was worse. Chen Jun could not help but frown at the foolish deeds that Weida had done. Since Weida held the wedding banquet with his wife in the countryside and did not collect the marriage certificate, he should make a clean break with his wife as soon as he was with Zihua. She was adopted by the Wei family. They could simply give her a sum of money for her to leave the Wei family. As long as the woman was not at the Wei family's residence and Weida was no longer in contact with her, even if Zihua found out the truth, she had to give in no matter how angry she was as the woman was gone and Weida had nothing to do with her anymore. Weida was plain foolish to allow the woman to stay in his hometown and to bring their son to meet Zihua. In the end, his secret was discovered by others. He was indeed from the countryside. He was so audacious to lie to the daughter of the chief and he dared to tell her to take care of his son. Until now, Chen Jun still could not understand what Weida was thinking. How could he have done such foolish deeds? He must be smart to be able to make Zihua fall in love with him. But on the other hand, he was downright foolish. He had destroyed his chance of striking rich. To Chen Jun, who did not have such a golden chance, letting such a good chance go to waste was a sheer pity. Chen Jun had been dreaming of striking rich. It would be wonderful if he had this opportunity. It is indeed true that it will be beneficial to us if Weida is with Zihua. But you should get the facts right before you do anything. You are a woman as well. If this happens to you, will you want to get back together with Weida? Chen Jun was a man. In his opinion, it was impossible. Firstly, Zihua had yet to marry Weida. Secondly, Zihua had not been intimate with Weida. Thirdly, Zihua was not pregnant with Weida's child. Weida had committed such a serious mistake. To Zihua, breaking up with him was righting the wrong and she did not suffer any losses. She had no reason to make the same mistake of reconciling with him. Even if Jiaonan persuaded Zihua, she might not agree to it. My mom didn't explain the situation clearly to me. Xiao Zijin felt that she was wronged. She was serious about helping Chen Jun so that they could lead an easier life in the future. Nobody expected that Weida was a scumbag. He had taken a wife in the countryside, and they had a child. He even wanted Zihua to take care of the child. According to Chen Jun's analysis, Zihua would not get back together with Weida. From a woman's point of view, Xiao Zijin also felt that Zihua would not accept Weida. She was a woman. She could totally understand. If she had known about the situation, she would have stopped her mother from doing something that was bound to fail. Are you sure that you do not want to break up? Chen Jun felt more reassured that Jiao Zijin was smarter than Ding Jiyi. He knew that Jiao Zijin was beaten up in school. Chen Jun also knew the reason why she was beaten. Chen Jun knew that Ding Jiyi sought high and low for Jiao Nan's contact numbers so as to question her regarding what happened to Jiao Zijin. Ding Jiyi had no idea that it was Chen Jun, her son-in-law, who sent her a text message that day. Chen Jun had one thought in mind: Jiao Nan was not a pushover and she had a temper. Ding Jiyi had driven Jiao Nan nuts that she could not help but teach Jiao Zijin a lesson. It was a good idea for Ding Jiyi to make the call and to know that Jiao Nan was not a pushover. She could then learn her lesson. This was so that Ding Jiyi would not keep committing foolish deeds to get back at Jiao Nan. Did she really think that since she gave birth to Jiao Nan, she had the right to control her life? Chen Jun let out a long breath. He was all the more happy if things were so simple. However, Jiao Nan was no pushover, and neither were her backers. The Zai family, the Zhu family, the Li family, and even the Lin family were not to be trifled with. Ding Jiyi would not be able to deal with any of the four strong backers.